again. You should have stayed dead!
I have come here to kick ass.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome. Hope everyone is doing well on this lovely evening. I think I fucked up. Shit. Nope, that's me. Okay. I might have to switch real quick because I can't share any of my tabs. So just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. How is everyone this evening? Just so you know, another round of Epstein files dropped. We're actively going through them right now. And hopefully we have something for you potentially today. But we'll have to see. So we'll continue to work on that, see what comes of it. There's some interesting stuff in this set of files that I've had some fun going through with the Ozman and Cheesy. So hopefully we continue to get good information, much better than the original, if you ask me. So let's get right into saying hello to everybody. We'll get right into it. Digger, hello. Hey, Alexander, what's up, buddy? Alex, what's going on, man? Jason J, good to see you, brother. Neo, hello. Daisy Girl, hello. Josh Chandler, who hasn't fucked up? I don't know. People fuck up all the time. Just happened to me this time. It's when you try to add complexity to your setup and you try to make things better, it always fucks up. So, what's up, Man Bun? Man Bun has a new lover, and she loves him more than she does me. She hung out with him all day, and I saw it. I saw it all. Anyways, let's get right into it. The important news: Pornhub blocks access in North Carolina as new law takes effect. So, in anticipation of the state's new law in North Carolina requiring adult websites to verify user ages, Pornhub, one of the world's largest websites, took action last week by blocking access for some North Carolina users. The website redirected users to the state to a messaging urging them to contact lawmakers and oppose the impending law. So much like I believe Utah did this already, this move aligns with Pornhub's strategy in other states such as Montana, who also face similar law taking effect on Monday. Expressing concerns about the law, Pornhub's message to North Carolina users was mandating age verification without proper enforcement gives platforms the opportunity to choose whether or not to comply. As we've seen in other states, it just drives traffic to sites with far fewer safety measures in place. North Carolina law passed by lawmakers in September with the effective date of January 1 does not specify methods websites should use for age verification. It broadly outlines the use of commercially available database or another commercially reasonable method for age and identity verification. What's up, HT? Yeah, I had that story already up, Jason. But I appreciate it, sir. So obviously I stand with Pornhub, and I think these laws are kind of stupid. They're not. I don't know. I agree with not allowing young individuals access to pornography on the web. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's any question there. The way they're going about it seems kind of shitty. So, and there's a lot of people speaking out. Speaking of a lot of people speaking out, pro-Palestinian Occupy and shut down California's state capitol in Sacramento, California. I believe this was yesterday. Currently, hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters and other activists are occupying and have shut down California's state capitol in Sacramento, California. Somebody say insurrection. These protesters have disrupted the assembly session on opening day, demanding a permanent ceasefire and an end to all U.S. military aid to Israel. Law enforcement is present on scene, working to maintain order between the protesters and Capitol authorities. So just another one. Ooh, nobody cares about your mustard if you're shitty. Damn. Seems like an insurrection to me, or an erection. One of the two. I don't know. Yes, they do. What's up, Amazing and Jacob Castro? Good to see you all. Realistically, you're just not going to get one. I mean, you can stand up there and throw a shit fit all you want, but it's probably not going to happen. So a 1-inch erection, yes. I agree. Watch what your kids are doing online, and then we wouldn't have this problem. But did you guys know that the Biden administration never forced anyone to mask or never pushed for any mask mandates? That sounds reasonable, right? Well, KJP is going to tell us.
Some hospitals in at least 8 states have brought back some form of masking now due to rising cases of respiratory viruses, including flu and COVID. Does the White House think more hospitals across the country should be considering that right now?
The masking piece, that is, we've always been very consistent on this. That is something that is localized or hospitals, communities, cities, states, they have to make their own decisions. That's not something that we get involved in.
Some hospitals in at least 8 states have brought back.
Yeah, they never got involved in it. They never did anything. Some more lies from this dumb raggedy bitch. Maybe that was too harsh. You guys can tell me. When President walked in, the economy was upside down. And so we're going to take a little bit of our folks to feel what Bidenomics has been able to do. All hail Bidenomics. All hail communism.
How do you explain the groups that have supported Joe Biden for so long, Democrats for so long, now kind of looking around, actually, and among young voters, too, not just that they're looking at Donald Trump, but they're looking at other choices. How do you explain them sort of straying from this president, from the Democratic Party?
So I'm going to be super mindful of 2024 as we're into an election year. Look, we understand what the American people went through these past 3 years, right? We came out of a pandemic, right? A pandemic that we haven't seen in 100 years. And when the president walked in, the economy was upside down. And so we get it. We get that it's going to take a little bit of time for folks to feel what the Bidenomics has been able to do. That's not something that I'm saying. That's something that economists have said, right? It takes a little bit of time, but it doesn't mean that the president's not going to continue to work.
How do you explain?
So Bidenomics is working, you bigots. Just shut up and love it harder, okay? Like we're kind of getting tired of your bigotry. Bidenomics works for everybody. And to prove it, she went on MSNBC again to push Bidenomics. I promise there's only like 3 more, but since Biden's on vacation, we gotta deal with this bitch. So
the two words that I'm going to give you that we're going to continue to do as it relates to the economy is continue to lower costs, and that has been at the center of Bidenomics. That has been at the center of how the president feels like he needs to move forward. And I'll take a step back for a second. In the last 2 years, almost 3 years now, the president has done more in the last 3 years than some presidents had done in 2 terms, Mika, in 2 terms. The two words that I'm going to give you that we're going to.
So to some international news. Viewer discretion is advised. It's not directly graphic, but it's implied graphicity. Graphicivity. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. What's up, Jacob Castro over on Rumble? South Korean opposition leader Lee Jae-myung is stabbed during campaign stop condition unknown. Ban assault knives, of course.
아따 질문 저 뭐야 저거 대표님 괜찮아요?
So he got stabbed. He got stabbed. Yeah, it's crazy. It would be like it'd be like one of our political leaders at a there's a lot of conspiracy surrounding it, that it was intended or it was a North Korean plant or whatever. I don't know how much of that I believe. I just know that it's tragic. I do believe that he did make it out okay, or has. I know he's still alive, and should recover. So that's the best case scenario that we can get out of the situation. And we have to turn down the rhetoric, because it's just going to get crazier and crazier, and more people are going to act out in truly psychotic ways of harming people. And that's never something that we want to take part in. So, who here identifies as a cat, or has in the past identified as a cat? Just one in chat if anybody is a cat. Like meow. Like meow. Oh wait, we do have a clip of President Biden. I forgot.
Nazi fags.
There we go. That says one. Homer was a cat at one time. Hey, what's up, Linda? Ao's a pussy. And so is amazing. He just hasn't Okay, so apparently we do have cats. So you guys will resonate with this story. So this is a mother trying to advocate for her cat child. I haven't figured out if the child is actually a cat or identifies as a cat. I'll let you guys decide.
My son identifies as a cat, and his school is not taking that seriously, and I am honestly planning on suing them. So yesterday was the first day of school, and during class, he was licking his paws, and his teacher told him to stop, and he didn't. So she called me, and she was like, hey, you have to get your son to stop doing this during class. It's really distracting to the other kids. And I was like, I'm not going to tell my son that he can't express himself. I have raised my son to be who he is. And I just think that it's really sad that these schools are trying to indoctrinate children and, putting them in this mold to make them think that they need to act like a human, whatever that means. He's not a human. He's a cat. Anyway, I am planning on suing them because they don't accommodate for him. And I just want to know if there's any other parents out there that are having this issue, because we can put together a class action.
Look at her eyes.
Son identifies.
Her eyes say that this is not parody, that this is truthful. I remember reading an article where one of the schools in Michigan had to put litter boxes in the restrooms because people were identifying as cats. So I wouldn't be blown away if they were actually cats, or thought they were cats. Maybe you should be sending him to a fucking cat school. Classes at PetSmart? Yeah. I agree. So a guy that's been in the news, Mayor Eric Adams New York City announces lawsuit against bus companies sending illegal aliens to city, seeks $708 million. I don't know, or I now question what medications people are taking when I hear shit like this. Lots of SSRIs. I don't feel like reading all this. You get the point. They're suing because Texas is sending illegals to New York City, but I thought New York City was a sanctuary city. Was it not? Did I miss something there? I thought they accepted illegals with open arms and were incredibly excited to have more and more of them. Right, you can't sue a company for fulfilling a contract that did it. Yeah, take it to the vet and have it euthanized. Save us all time. Probably, yeah. Exactly. So yeah, just another probably PR stunt. We know last week I showed you the Chicago mayor and several other mayors in blue cities across the country are all up in arms about this whole bus thing and bringing people in. Last time I checked, they welcomed them with open arms and could not wait to have more. So that's kind of confusing to me. Kind of sending mixed messages, if you ask me. I don't know. Again, you guys decide. I still don't know how I feel about Vivek. But he was recently on Tucker Carlson, and I think he had some good things to say. I think he's controlled opposition. I think he's being directed or paid or thought to say what we want to hear them say. However, I like hearing it. I really do. That's also true. That's a good angle that I didn't think of, for sure. If they want to go, they should be able to go. So, hey, what's up, Omni and Daisy Girl over on the Rumbles? So we'll listen to this for a bit here.
What have you noticed about the kind of subtext to this race? What's actually going on here, do you think?
Yeah, well, look, I've been convinced
That's
for a long
true as
time,
well.
Tucker, that this was not going to be a standard Trump versus Biden race.
Right.
There's just been enough staring you in the face that made that obvious, right? You start with the trials and the civil trials and the prosecutions, and then they go to the non-prosecution and illegal removals from a ballot without trial on the Trump side. The thing that fascinated me about the Biden side of this, though, is you also see some of the same dynamics. The documents case for Biden trotting itself out after years, long ago in the Senate. You see a lot of other things with Biden. Why is the Hunter stuff coming out now when this has been known for 7 years? And so where I thought this was going was Gavin Newsom or Michelle Obama or whichever other puppet they're trotting out to replace Biden. But one of the things that's become clear to me, so that's where I thought this was going. It was not what was meeting the eye, for sure. I think what's become clear to me now, I'm in the thick of this GOP primary, is that the real puppet they're trotting out isn't Gavin Newsom. It isn't Michelle Obama. I was wrong about that, actually. I think the true puppet masters, the thing about them is they're fundamentally nonpartisan in nature. There's a few things they care about. Keeping the foreign war machine humming is high on the list. Keeping the administrative state's control of the United States is also high on the list. They found a much more convenient puppet within the Republican Party itself. It's not Gavin, it's not Michelle, it's Nikki, actually. And I think that if you just follow exactly who are the very people who are paying to keep Donald Trump off the ballot, who are funding the lawsuits that keep Trump off the ballot, the Reid Hoffmans of the world funding lawsuits against Trump, the Larry Finks of the world, king of the woke industrial complex, CEO of BlackRock. It's just obvious and hiding in plain sight. Who are these people propping up? It's not Biden, and it's not even Gavin Newsom. It's Nikki Haley within the Republican Party itself. And I think that makes for a very convenient frontman, because then they actually have absolved themselves from any allegations of partisanship or Democratic partisanship against Donald Trump. They can say, oh, no, we're not partisans. We're actually bipartisan. actually the deep state, and I would say the managerial class more broadly, is fundamentally nonpartisan. They have their core objectives, and Nikki makes for a far better Trojan horse to actually accomplish that objective than anybody else. And so when you look at the dynamics within the mega donor class or otherwise, it is now crystal clear to me, Tucker, that let's just get to exactly the plan that they have. I mean, I've been alluding to this for a long time. I wanted people in the campaign trail and others to be able to draw their own conclusions. I don't want to stuff my views down people's throats, but I think it's just become crystal clear that it's now staring everybody in the face equally obviously, that they want to narrow this down. By they, I mean the system, the bipartisan system, wants to narrow this down to be a two-horse race between Donald Trump and Nikki Haley. They want it one way or another, by hell or high water, take Donald Trump out, eliminate him from competition, one way or another, and prop Nikki Haley up to just waltz straight in to keep the war machine humming and to effectively keep the censorship industrial complex and the administrative state intact exactly where it was in the post 9/11 Bush-Cheney era.
What if, and you know, with polling results that I saw today, I don't know if everybody saw it, but there was a poll in New Hampshire, which has its primary coming up in about 2-3 weeks here. And it actually had Nikki Haley gaining on Donald Trump. It had Donald Trump at 44%. It had Nikki Haley at 30%. It had fat ass Chris Christie at 12%. DeSantis was 6%, and Vivek Ramaswamy was 5%. So Nikki's starting to get ground. I will not vote for Nikki Haley. I will not. I don't care if she's the nominee, the front runner, the president. She is a neocon. She is a warmonger, and I want nothing to do with it. Yeah, Krispy Kreme. I want nothing close to Nikki Haley in the White House or anywhere. It just tells you how blind people on both sides are about the establishment. Right. It's almost like there's two parties, and then a whole hell of a lot of people that are kind of in the middle of those two parties that have zero representation anywhere. And that's what I feel like more and more every single day at this point. I don't fit as a Republican. I sure as hell don't fit as a Democrat. So it's got to be somewhere right there in the middle. It's got to be right there. And why I don't have any representation or anybody that I can call my party or my leader, anything like that. And mind you, again, I've been heavily involved with the Republican Party in my state. They don't fit my interests anymore. They just don't. They don't. So I think there's a growing number of Americans that don't have representation, and something needs to change to be able to help those people. So I think the successor to the Trump MAGA movement needs to be somebody that can run effectively and win a third party. That's my hope. That's my goal. That's my shining beacon for 2028 and 32. Is that eventually we can have somebody that is an America First candidate or a MAGA candidate that represents the people that are unrepresented. There's my soapbox, so I'll get off now. Speaking of 2024 election, this is Biden's first campaign ad, and it's a doozy. Get ready.
I've made the preservation of American democracy the central issue of my presidency. I believe in free and fair elections and the right to vote fairly and have your vote counted. There's something dangerous happening in America. There's an extremist movement that does not share the basic beliefs in our democracy. All of us are being asked right now, what will we do to maintain our democracy? History's watching. The world is watching. Most important, our children and grandchildren will hold us responsible. The Vice President and I have supported voting rights since day one of this administration, and I ask every American to join me in this cause. America is still a place of possibilities, where the power resides with we, the people. That's our soul. We are the United States of America. There is nothing beyond our capacity when we act together. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
I wanted to address something in Rumble chat real quick, going back to the previous one. If Trump if I can read it, if Trump picked Haley for VP, I'd be forced to jump ship and support Vivek. I would tend to agree with you. I cannot have that woman anywhere near the White House at all. 7. It's possible. Hey, what's up, Queen? He does sound terrible. Absolutely terrible. So there's, of course, even though this just came out, there's already a parody of it. I think it fits better. He should use the parody and not the real one.
There's an extremist movement that does not share the basic beliefs in our democracy. All of us are being asked right now, what will we do to maintain our democracy? History's watching. The world is watching. Most important, our children and grandchildren will hold us responsible. The Vice President and I have supported voting rights since day one of this administration. And I ask every American to join me in this cause. There's an extremist movement.
I'm Joe Biden.
That does not share
My
the basic.
handlers told me to approve this message. I agree with that. So that's his new campaign message. I think it's dark. I don't think it's hopeful. And God, whoever the hell votes for this asshole, man. No, the second one was a parody, just to be clear, so nobody, dangerous disinformation guy that I am. I want to just be 100% clear. The second iteration was a parody of the first video. So, moving on to, we were talking about warmongers, and look at this, Lindsey Graham pops up. So we're going to kind of go back and forth with some of the things that are happening militarily around the world right now. And I did a shit job. I should have started with the whole thing. So we'll start right over here. Close. Fuck you, Fox News. ISIS claims responsibility for suicide bomb attacks on Soleimani Memorial in Iran. Syria has also claimed to have been responsible for the attack, which killed more than 100 people. Here are... Why did it just switch? I didn't even switch it. There we go. Let's make a couple things perfectly clear. Within 4 minutes of this attack, I remember someone coming out. Fox News has to quit showing titties on their thing, by the way. Let's just be clear about this. They're littered with them. Gonna get me in trouble. Let's be clear about two things. One, 4 minutes after this attack, the United States came out and said unequivocally we had no involvement in the attack. That 100% makes me think that the United States had everything to do with this attack. Secondly, as many of you know, I worked for the federal government, and this is textbook. You explode a bomb as a distraction, and then you explode a second device where the exit or where the people would go, and that's exactly what happened here. So, ISIS attacking Iran, how can this be? No way. Yes. So, to say that the United States had no involvement in this, I think is disingenuous. Troops only have to pay for their own storage while deployed. They have money for total bullshit, but not our troops. Yeah. Yep. I agree, Comer. It was, who disguised ISIS, or who subverted ISIS, or something. Yeah. The Islamic State in Iraq and Syria is claiming responsibility for suicide bomb attacks in Iran this week. ISIS claims to have orchestrated double-sided suicide bomber attack at a memorial to the deceased Iranian military official Qasem Soleimani, who Donald Trump killed. Not personally, but he ordered the strike. A statement from ISIS published Telegram named terrorist operatives Omar al-Mawadi and Sayyidullah al-Mujahid as suicidal attackers behind the dual martyrdom operation. And I'm not going to go much further because all the ads on Fox News are just boobs, and I don't want to do that. So, Iranian media reported at least 103 killed, 141 injured in an explosion near the grave of General Qasem Soleimani. So yeah, that's where we get to this stuff. Also, this happened today. Breaking American strike killed a pro-Iran commander in Iraq. Yeah, in a blue hat. Mm-hmm. Well, AP, you know me, bud. You know me. Does this shock you in any way? American strike killed pro-Iran commander in Iraq. That was this afternoon. Couple of the other reasons why I think the United States had every bit of involvement. The next two clips. One from warmonger in chief Lindsey Graham.
I'm more dedicated now to bringing stability to your country in this region because I think Iran's goal is to destroy your efforts to reconcile with the Arab world. It's a nightmare for the Ayatollah. It's an absolutely essential ingredient to a better, more stable Mideast and a safe and secure Israel and a prosperous Palestinian people. So I promise you they will not have died in vain. We're going to do everything we can.
I don't need that, baby. You know better than that.
And I think working with the Biden administration, Mr. Prime Minister, to push forward to make Iran's worst nightmare real. The Arabs and the Israelis move toward the light.
Well, thank you. Senator Graham, Lindsey, I appreciate your personal support and the bipartisan support of the American people represented by the administration, by both sides of Congress. We're absolutely committed to achieving our war games. That is destroying our war goals, destroying Hamas,
war games,
releasing our hostages, making sure Gaza doesn't become a threat again, and also making sure that we can return our citizens in the North and in the South. And for that, we'll apply maximum power with maximum precision everywhere that's needed.
And we have your back.
Thank you.
Fuck off, Lindsey Graham. No, you know what, Lindsey?
Go fuck yourself.
I don't know. He's such a war hawk bullshit. He's so frustrating. Here's another denial from the United States government. John Kirby asked if Israel was responsible for the bombings in Iran on the anniversary of General Soleimani's death. No indication. He also said no one was shedding a tear over a killed terrorist. It's probably revenge for October 7th, which is also an anniversary. So he's saying they did it without didn't it.
Thank you. I wanted to ask about Iran. Does the United States have any idea who might be behind the bombings there today? And secondly, does the U.S. think the killing of the Hamas leader in Beirut has significantly changed the strength of Hamas?
So on your first question, we aren't at a point now where we have a lot of great detail on this bombing. Certainly our hearts go out to all the innocent victims and their family members who are obviously their lives are going to be forever changed by this. But we don't have any more detail in terms of how it happened or who might be responsible for it. On your second question, again, I would point you to our Israeli partners to talk more about this. That we're again not in a position to confirm the specific reports. I would just tell you that al-Huri was a noted designated global terrorist. And if he is in fact dead, nobody should be shedding a tear over his loss.
I know you said you don't have any great detail on who was responsible, but can you rule out that Israel had anything to do with this?
We have no indication at this time at all that Israel was involved in any way whatsoever.
no indication, but just to be clear, you don't think, did they support or assist in some other way?
I'm not going to speak for another nation. I would just tell you that we have no indication that Israel was in any way involved in this.
And given that this was
Because
the
we did it.
Soleimani anniversary, did you have any intelligence that something was being planned for this day?
We certainly had no indications that there would be some sort of violence surrounding the anniversary of.
Fuck you, Neo, by the way. I just saw your comment. First does a parody of the
Just
second.
to follow up
Gotcha.
on the Lebanon issue, is there?
All right. So we're going to go back to John Kirby. My thought process, and based on intelligence that I have from the work that I did at one point, this looks like an American attack. They have come out so hard against it. It seems like an American attack. And if it quacks like a duck and has a screw penis like a duck, it's probably a duck. So I'm going to call it a duck. Moving on to another bullshit story. Breaking: White House says Russia using North Korean ballistic missiles against Ukraine is seeking missiles from Iran. For fuck's sake, got to attach Israel to the situation like they don't have enough shit going on already. Yep. So this is another interesting story. My good friend Cheese, you guys may know him. He's kind of odd, but we love him nonetheless. My good friend Cheese was sitting back, and we were hanging out, and we were noticing some Russian bombers. And we were also noticing some unusual air traffic the other night. Thought about going live, and everything said unsuccessful, or it was, the normal moniker. We're going to disprove that. But first, we're going to start with John Kirby's explanation.
More. As Russia continues to launch these brutal attacks, the United States has new information to share about the support that Russia is receiving from third countries. Due in part to our sanctions and export controls, Russia has become increasingly isolated on the world stage, and they've been forced to look to like-minded states for military.
Are you volunteering?
As we've been warning publicly, one of those states is North Korea. Our information indicates that the Democratic People's Republic of Korea recently provided Russia with ballistic missile launchers and several ballistic missiles. On the 30th of December, 2023, Russian forces launched at least one of these North Korean ballistic missiles into Ukraine. This missile appears to have landed in an open field in the Zaporizhia region. And on January 2nd, Russia launched multiple North Korean ballistic missiles into Ukraine, including as part of its overnight aerial attack. We're still assessing the impacts of these additional missiles. We're releasing a graphic here, which you can see behind me, that documents the launch of these missiles from Russia into Ukraine. And as you can see, the graphic shows the area from which Russia launched the North Korean.
So China sold them to North Korea, who sold them to Russia.
On those 2 dates.
Yes.
As well as the impact location inside Ukraine of the missile that was launched on the 30th of December. And as I said, we're still assessing the impacts of the other additional missiles that were launched on the 2nd. We expect Russia and North Korea to learn from these launches. And we anticipate that Russia will use additional North Korean missiles to target Ukraine's civilian infrastructure and to kill innocent Ukrainian civilians. These North Korean ballistic missiles are capable of ranges of approximately 900 kilometers. That's about 550 miles. This is a significant and concerning escalation in the DPRK's support for Russia. Now, in return for its support, we assess that Pyongyang is seeking military assistance from Russia, including fighter aircraft, surface-to-air missiles, armored vehicles, ballistic missile production equipment or materials, and other advanced technologies. This would have concerning security implications for the Korean Peninsula and the Indo-Pacific region. We've also said.
So that is the beginning. So now we're going to share some pictures. How fucking hypocritical. Yeah, they can do it, but we can't. Or they can't do it, but we can. Yeah, it's absolute bullshit if you ask me. There's nothing horrifically gruesome in these pictures, just pure discretion as always. So here's one of the videos from one of these unsuccessful missiles.
Центру міста, виходячи з локацій, куди були прильоти, ми розуміємо, що не цілились військові об'єкти 100%, ми знову ж таки, як і попередній обстріл, доходимо до думки, що завдано удар з метою знищення мирного населення, примушення харків'ян виїхати з міста і примушення харків'ян, скажімо так, здатися. Такого не буде взагалі. Ми переживемо це і переживемо цей біль і відповімо. Це точно.
So yeah, so here's some of the pictures of the missile area. So it hit a building. There's also in recent days, Ukraine has experienced strikes on FOBs by suspect to be North Korean KN-23 ballistic missiles. More below, FOB containing a lot of trucks, Ural tankers. The fact that the house caught fire as well indicates resupply base in them. So this is apparently what they're receiving and the missiles that they're receiving. So we will take a look at the video real quick. Compound Scandinavian snowman. Buy yourself some iSet tablets. This is not advice. I'm just saying, like, they make a good gift to yourself for the impending apocalypse. I mean, it's just if you want to, like, this is not advice. It's just generally they make a good self gift when you want to please yourself or pleasure yourself. Buy yourself some iodine. Not medical advice. Even PBS is jumping in on it. The White House said that Moscow has started firing North Korean ballistic missiles into Ukraine, and the U.S. is concerned Iran will agree to send missiles to Russia. I don't know if this one's going to play. It was being weird. Anyways, it's probably not going to play. They're going to strike me for that shit. Anyways, all right. So we'll just skip it. North Korean ballistic missiles hit Ukraine. Russia prepares for F-16 crisis. Iranian Desful targets Romania and Poland. So this is some of those weapons exchanges, and obviously we're not going to watch this whole fucking thing because that would be terrible. That's the one that we watched. So there's a lot of information in this, but we're interested in the first one here. Russia is pounding Ukrainian military positions with North Korean ballistic missiles, according to the U.S. emergency briefing. According to Washington, Russia launched North Korean ballistic missiles at least twice against Ukrainian positions, more specifically on December 30th and January 2nd. The Americans are talking about dozens of ballistic missiles from North Korea, confirming a big, quote, deal between Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un, which Warner's 24/7 had written about months ago. But the unpleasant news about Kiev does not stop here. The Americans confirmed the existence of a second agreement, this time with Iran. And we read this article actually on one of my news shows, the colossal Russian and North Korean deal for millions of shells and ammunition. And this was included in it. So it looks like they're training some aircraft for some missiles, blah, blah, blah. So we're starting to see a wide range of people getting together and kind of picking sides for a conflict that's probably already started, if we're being honest. Thought this one was kind of funny. They're barely functional. New scandal with the leopards they gave to Ukraine. The Germans. Never trust the Germans. Am I right? Alex. So as you can see, those are the tanks, the leopard tanks. very few of the Leopard 2A6 tanks delivered by Berlin to Ukraine are still in service, admitted Green Party member Sebastian Schaefer. Most are damaged in the battle and spare parts are in short supply. The German politician noted that some of the Leopard tanks were further damaged by Ukrainian soldiers who tried to repair them. He points out that there's a shortage of spare parts at the Lithuanian Repair Center. Western donors had earlier announced the delivery of Leopards to Kiev, hailing them as a miracle weapon that would tip the balance, supposedly in favor of Ukraine. In total, the German government has transferred 18 Leopard 2 tanks from Bunzwar Arsenal to Ukraine. Russia has repeatedly warned that arms supplies to Kiev only fuel the conflict, while stressing any Western military equipment used by Ukraine would be decimated. We're in I love how Ukraine's just bitching that our stuff isn't good enough. Like they're like, no, it's not good enough. We want better shit. Cool. Cool story, bro. Really excited about that. Why don't you tell me more and whine more about the free shit we've been giving you? That'd be fantastic. I want to join the not picking a side team. Honestly, the war zone behind and let them be. Exactly. It appears pretty fucking bad. Like really bad. I honestly don't know why Ukraine hasn't surrendered yet. There's nothing left for them. They're done. Back to the previous conflict. Iran Davos criminals will pay. Khamenei threatens after blasts. Ayatollah Khamenei promised a tough response to the twin blasts blamed by officials and state media that killed at least 211 people earlier in Iran near the tomb of General Qasem Soleimani on his 4th anniversary of his death. The diabolical criminals and enemies of the Iranian nation once again have wreaked havoc and martyred a large number of our fellow citizens in Kerman. Kerman? Like the game? There will be a harsh response to this disaster, God willing. So there's that portion of it. There's also, if Israel declares war on us, the response will be unprecedented, says the Hezbollah leader. So they're tying all this together. Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah gave another speech today. It fears a regional escalation of the Middle East war intensified after a strike in Beirut killed the second in command of Hamas. So we're taking out leaders left and right, and the Middle Eastern world is getting pretty furious. So I don't know what the answer is. They don't pay me enough to figure that out. But yeah, this is yeah. Well, we'll get to some stuff that affects us in a little bit. That's exactly how I feel. Not good enough. Okay, here's Abrams. That'd be 20 billion plus tax and extra 2 per main gun shell payment required before delivery. Have fun with your war. Probably. They're probably encouraging the war to continue. Havoc. From Jake Hester over on Rumble. So this one's one that affects us. Moscow first announced destruction of NATO NAS AMS anti-aircraft systems. So SAM systems. We know that their missile technology is better than ours, and they're starting to prove it by destroying SAMs, NATO SAMs, and that's not good. The armed forces of the Russian Federation, for the first time since the start of the special military operation, announced the destruction of a NASAMS anti-aircraft missile array that were recently transferred to Ukraine by NATO. It took place in Donetsk. And here's, I feel like one of those countries is Comer's. It's either Russia or Ukraine or Norway. Russian troops destroyed the Norwegian MSAMS AA for the first time. The delivery of this complex to Kiev announced in the fall, as today the MOD of the Russian Federation announced its destruction for the first time. So the downfall to this conflict is Russia is getting free rein to destroy our shit and learn how to do it very effectively. That's going to be the concern long term, because at some point, Russians are going to get our technology. They're going to be able to destroy our shit. And if we ever get into an actual conflict with Russia, they're absolutely going to have the upper hand. This is the part that scares me. There's so much technology and so much intelligence that the Russian military is gaining from prolonging this conflict and us sending more of our shit over there, that we are going to pay for it one day. Mark my words, hold me to that. It's going to happen. I wish it wouldn't, but it's going to happen. And then, so last on our kind of war news front, then we'll get to Criminal Corner. What the hell do I call it? Fuck. I forgot. Prison Planet. There you go. Good job, guys. Video, U.S. sank 3 Houthi boats in the Red Sea. This was a big deal the other day. So, Houthi boat came in and started shooting at a Maersk liner. And caused some serious issues and concerns there. And then the United States sent in and sunk a bunch of boats, and I believe killed 10 individuals. 10. So again, there's more and more fuckery going on, and more things to be incredibly concerned with. So yeah, I don't know. It's I wish we weren't doing this right now. It's not a good idea to keep provoking people, but I actually don't know what the video is. I haven't seen the video. So let me preview it real quick. I didn't know there was a video of it. What is the video's not much, but so Yemen rebels, there was some talk about declaring war. That's cooled down from now. But yeah, we sunk 3 of their boats that were harassing a Maersk vessel and not allowing commerce to take place in that general vicinity of an area. So we're going to Prison Planet. This can get kind of gruesome and nasty at times. So viewer discretion is advised. As always, you can ship everything from medical supplies, arms, armor, ammo, vehicles, prefab bases, and now they know what our military ships because they own the docks. Yes, we did. We did a great job. America, fuck yeah. I like it when Stan covers Russia on future conflict. He served a lot of time there. Yeah, he seems pretty knowledgeable. I like watching that too. Yes, trigger. Not digger. Or you thought I was going to say it. Shocking moment. Drunk student 23 mows down her fiance with a car in fatal game of chicken. This sounds something like I might do. Not anymore, but when, young and dumb and not with a car. But kill somebody in drunk chicken? Potentially. 23-year-old, of course it's in England, Cheshire. A 23-year-old woman has been found guilty of murdering her fiance after deliberately driving her car at him in Road Heath. Alice Wood was convicted of murder of 24-year-old Ryan Watson at Chester Crown Court on Tuesday, January 2nd, following a 3-week trial. Wood of Draycross Road, Cheadle, has been remanded in custody and will be sentenced on Monday, the 29th of January. She looks like a crazy bitch. Ryan was killed on Friday, May 6, 2022, after Wood repeatedly drove her car at him in what witnesses described as a game of, quote, chicken. After she lost her temper, the pair had returned to their home in Oak Street Road Health shortly after 11 p.m. that evening, after attending a party in Hanley, at which both had been drinking alcohol. Exactly. Wood drove Ryan's vehicle home, a Fiat Punto, and both exited the vehicle. At 11:20, Woods was seen on CCTV getting in his own car, a Ford Fiesta, and reversing it out of its space while Ryan is seen walking around the vicinity. Around this time, neighbors are reportedly hearing shouting, doors slamming, and a car engine revving. CCTV shows Fiesta reversing towards Ryan, almost hitting him. Actually, if it shows everything, we'll just... Yeah, here we go. Oh, shit. He was on the hood. Watch closely. It's right there. Bam. Yeah, ban assault cars. Holy shit.
My wife called me, said it was an accident. I came down to have a look at what it was. About 10 minutes ago, there was a young lady in our house. She walked outside now with us, and she said to my wife and myself that she's the driver. They had an argument, and she drove over him.
Right, okay. So,
Allegedly.
Alex, based on the circumstance that we found out already, okay, I'm going to arrest you on... No, listen to me, okay? I'm going to... Listen to me. I'm going to arrest you on suspicion of murder, okay? So you don't have to say anything, but on your fence, you don't mention now something later on in court. Anything you do say, maybe with evidence. Understand?
Holy shit. All right, the next one I probably shouldn't play, and I'm not going to say anything about it. You guys see if you can spot it. This was played on ESPN during the Sugar Bowl. I want you to look in this lower right-hand corner in just a moment. I probably shouldn't play this one, but I'm going to. Lower right-hand corner, just behind this guy in this red shirt. This was played on national television on ESPN. You see the blue coat? Blue coat. So apparently that was a big deal. And if I scroll up, there's a zoomed in picture. So I'm not going to do that because I don't want to tempt fate. But yeah, I know the outrage. Holy shit. But that was played on national television. ESPN's way under fire, offering apologies, blah, 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 blah. Who really gives a shit? Yes, it was half. It was half. I mean, fuck it. There's the picture. There's the still. ESPN issued an apology, blah, blah, blah. They were drinking. They were downtown Louisiana. Da, da, da. Who gives a shit? But it was big news, so I had to play it. Speaking of trending news. I know, right? I know. Yeah, it wasn't even really good, was it? I'm sure. I'm sure. 11%? I think it's more like 19%. 19%. And so let's just stop for 30 seconds and just think about this. How fucking ridiculous that is. That we have to be all up in arms. I have to be worried about showing the video over nothing. Literally nothing. It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous. But we can have drag time story hour and you can shake your... Never mind. All right, moving on. So this was in the news. Everybody probably heard about it or something about it. This stunning and brave future NASA engineer with the rap sheet of about 74 different criminal convictions was finally getting held accountable for something, and you'll see his reaction. G-Tech has nipples? Oh my god. Do you really? Were they better than those ones? Or are they better than those ones? Anyways, so this is a full video, unedited. Kind of crazy. It gets better, easier.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court.
Nice hops, though. He should be in the Olympics. We got hops. Gabriel said they should have moved the trampoline from in front of the judge. They are beating the shit out of that man.
Hey, get off her. Get off her. Oh, man. You're good. You're good. Stop. Don't do this. Hey, where's Mary Kate? Is she okay? Hey. Hey, can you fucking radio somebody? Yeah, give me all the fucking radio somebody.
Fucking radio somebody.
Oh, shame, man.
Hey, what's up, man?
This fucking skin's man. No, come on. Somebody call 911. Hey, where's Mary Kate? She's right here. She's right here. She's right here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any. I think it's just they're just talking from this point forward. But what they obviously weren't prepared for something that insane, and I don't think that you ever can be. We have a natural complacency in our lives where we allow things to happen that we generally wouldn't before. But what the hell, man? Like, nobody's gonna hold him accountable until, yeah. 3 seconds did a half-assed job stopping him, and it took a minute and 11 seconds to end it and call for an alarm. Yeah, they were wildly unprepared, and it's kind of insane. Were they expecting when they pull the chute right to the jail before the judge? Is the judge alive? The judge is alive. The judge is in stable condition. I think she's sustained some injuries. I want to see if there's a direct update. She is alive. Let's see if they give me a... Maybe we can watch that part of it too again. Judge Holthus is unharmed, but another marshal involved in the altercation has been hospitalized. So she is alive. She is fine. I saw a picture of her face floating around, but I didn't know how accurate it was. Looked like she got pretty fucked up, but apparently didn't go to the hospital. So the chief judge gave a press conference earlier. Yeah. Yeah, I'll play it again. Play it again. I'll play it. An NFL team in Ohio will sign him since they're all criminals anyways. Allegedly. Bengals, Browns, take your pick. Like either one can have him. He has quick reaction speed. He got to the passer quick. Sign him and put him on the D line. Future Olympic triathlete. Must have been a pole vaulter in a past life. Bet she wants a higher desk after this. Yeah, probably. Or Oakland. Yeah, Oakland. Could go to Oakland. Maybe if he changes himself around, he has a lot of potential. He has a ridiculous rap sheet. Ridiculous. Dozens of charges. Dozens. It is over on the hell. Let me bring it up. Shit. If you want to look into his charges and stuff like that, my friend Clean. I don't know if you guys ever checked this out. I've been feeding her a bunch of shit for the Epstein files. So we were talking back and forth. There's a Discord link for As the Gavel Drops, and she has all kinds of information, all kinds of everything. And they do a great job. So if you're into the true crime, it's all over there, and you can check out all his charges and all that kind of stuff. So, Midstream Grift, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Speaking of Epstein, I was gonna save this for the next Epstein show, but I figured it was worth having here. Breaking it. Jeffrey Epstein's infamous jet, the Lolita Express, will be torn apart and scrapped after years of flying underage people and high-powered associates to his Caribbean island and around the world. Oh, they're so damn organized. They're so organized. It's crazy. We were talking about that when we had a conversation before the show. And yeah, that's why I just dropped. I just put it right there. We were talking before the show, and they had some incredible stuff over there. So, next up, Imam dies after shooting outside a New Jersey mosque. Police in Newark, New Jersey are actively seeking a gunman who is responsible for the fatal shooting of an imam outside his mosque on Wednesday. The incident occurred at approximately 6:15 a.m. at the intersection of South Orange Avenue and Camden Street. As reported by the Newark Public Safety Director Fitz Braggie told NBC News Network, New York. The victim, identified as Hassan Sharif, an imam at Muhammad Newark, was initially in critical condition and hospitalized after being shot once in the abdomen and right arm. He succumbed to his injuries about 2:20 p.m., according to reports. Well, yeah, at Camden, Newark. I mean, it was just a matter of time, but he's a human, and I feel bad when anybody gets shot and killed. Speaking of people getting shot and killed, this was on New Year's Day in Miami. Massive police response is underway at Bayside Marketplace. Currently, a massive police response is underway at Bayside Marketplace in Miami, following reports of shots being fired with a large flight nearby. Numerous law enforcement presence can be seen securing the scene. At this time, the exact cause is unknown, as crowds of people can be seen running. Officers closed multiple streets, and police are asking residents to avoid the area. The situation is still developing. This is the same time we saw the Russian bombers up, and Cheese and I were wondering if there's any relation. I have to touch base and see if he. Asian. Hey, no worries.
What did you hear?
Gunshots.
Oh, that's what that was?
So apparently they just shut down an entire city block in Miami for no apparent reason. And you can see huge police presence.
Bueno, para que sean testigos cuando se produce una llamada a todo.
So that's the Miami. According to Miami police, a large fight broke out involving several juveniles. Some of them had been armed with some kind of sticks. Police are continuing to investigate at this time. That seems like a hell of a police response for some juveniles with sticks. Bullshit. I call bullshit. I had not read that update until now. Saw it was there. Just sometimes I like to read it live. I don't buy that for a second. There's no way that was a report of some people with sticks. What the fuck? We don't even have that many cop cars in Canada. Yeah, well, you guys have Mounties and mounted police on horses. I think still, potentially. This one is the worst story of the night, and I was going to sandwich it in the middle so we can forget about it very, very quickly. The town just closed down the last walk-in clinic because there's no money to pay support staff. Damn. This one's a tough one. This is one of the worst ones that I think I've read in a while. So, Indianapolis man sentenced for 30 years for raping a toddler and recording it. Devin Shane Mitchell, 37, of Indianapolis, has been sentenced to 30 years in federal prison after pleading guilty to exploiting a kid. According to court documents, February 2023, law enforcement officers began investigating Mitchell for criminal activity unrelated to the abuse. During the course of the investigation, officers discovered multiple images and videos of the abuse on Mitchell's cell phone. The video showed Mitchell raping a child under 4 years old who's crying during the attack. At times, the child was in his care, custody, or control. In April of 23, Mitchell was arrested at his home. During a thorough search of his electronic devices, FBI agents found over 800 images and videos of other abuse material Mitchell collected online, in addition to videos he created using the toddler. Our hearts break for the violence and trauma that the defendant inflicted on such a young and vulnerable kid. We're deeply committed to finding the offenders who exploit our children and ensure they're taken out of our communities. U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Indiana, Zach A. Myers. Thanks to dedicated investigators at the FBI, IMPD, and our federal prosecutor, the victim and every other child will be protected from the defendant's crimes for decades to come. This fucker needs to go away forever. Not 30 years. He'll be 67. He'll be prime age to do this shit again. Fuck that. Fire up the wood chippers, boys. And girls. All dudes locked up with him gonna beat his ass, so the judge is giving him a lighter sentence. Could be, but I just want him to go forever. I never even want the slight opportunity. That's from Daisy Girl over on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. South Dakota cop was sentenced to 180 days for C on probation, 10 years, doesn't have to register. His excuse to traumatized from being a cop. Jesus Christ. Hey, Bobby. All right, we're going to move on. Because he probably shouldn't be allowed to breathe ever again. Another shooting. January 1st, New Year's Day. Deadly mass shooting claims multiple lives and injures several others in LA, California. Numerous law enforcement and other authorities are currently on the scene of Central City East, Los Angeles, California, following a deadly mass shooting incident. Multiple people have been shot, with a total of 5 victims dead, 2 dead, and 3 critically injured. As they continue to search for additional victims, no suspects have been caught, and they are still on the large at this time. This one was heavily, how do I say it without getting in trouble? Heavily thought to be gang violence.
Nobody can leave. They sitting here putting their fucking hands on people. LAPD, as usual, putting their fucking hands on people.
Yeah, they putting their fucking hands on people while somebody's shooting people. Fuck the police. Damn police interrupting their day.
They sitting here putting their fucking hands on people.
Okay. Staying in Los Angeles. Megan always fucking the police. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, I mean, staying in Los Angeles and probably another gang-related shooting. Police are on the scene to an active shooter as a male suspect is firing from a balcony. So he was in his home, so he can have the gun. Currently, there's significant law enforcement presence along with other emergency agencies in Glassell Park, California. This follows an incident where a male suspect fired 3 shots from a single-family residential balcony. Multiple roads and streets have been closed as SWAT units are on the scene. Police are actively monitoring the suspect, who has relocated to the back patio of the residence, and additional shots are being heard from the property. Authorities are continuing to monitor the area and working to establish contact with the suspect. I mean, there's not much to the video, so we'll keep going. Staying in California, yet again, the most beautiful state ever. Del Amo Mall is on high alert as police in riot gear with hundreds of teens plan to loot and destroy storefronts. It's not even summer, and we still have a summer of peaceful protests or peaceful summer of love. What the hell was it? Currently, a substantial law enforcement presence in riot gear visible at Del Amo Mall in Torrance, California, following a Facebook group of 150 to 200 members issuing a post announcing their planned flash mob style takeover of the mall. Coordinate activities such as looting and the destruction of storefronts. Authorities are actively monitoring the situation, leading to the closure of multiple streets, and the mall is now on lockdown as a precautionary measure. That should be terrorism, and you should be, Summer of Love 2020. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's true. I didn't think about that. So take a look at this video real quick. I feel that this is terrorism. You had economic impact on a large group of people. This is terrorism, in my opinion. They is putting their hands on people. Internet mafia. Yep. So that's it in California for today, I think. So we'll move on to New York City. New Year's Day crash kills 5 people on New York City Parkway, say the police. Tragedy struck on Monday morning in New York City when a fatal car accident claimed the lives of 5 people, police said. The incident occurred on Cross Island Parkway in Queens as a Mazda traveling north collided with another vehicle around 6 a.m. The collision near Whitestone Bridge resulted in deaths of all 5 occupants of the Mazda, according to the New York Police Department. Distressing images from the scene depict the overturned car on the parkway. Meanwhile, the driver of the other involved vehicle was rushed to the hospital and is reported to be in stable condition. As of now, the New York Police Department has refrained from disclosing the identities of the 5 individuals that lost their lives. Probably, given time and everything else, I would say that there's a reasonable inference that there could have been some drinking involved, and that's bad, and it costs lives, and you can't get those back. So that portion of it is incredibly sad, and just hate to see it for the people involved, because it's don't drink and drive. It's not worth it. Call a cab, call an Uber, call a friend. Not worth it. Moving on. Arlington, Texas. So this is from December 28th. Heavy police presence after reports of shots being fired in the Parks Mall. Currently, there's a heavy law enforcement presence along with other emergency agencies at Parks Mall in Arlington, Texas, following reports of shots being fired inside the mall near this ice skating rink. According to witnesses, the mall is on lockdowns with evacuations underway at this time. At least one person has been reported to be injured, as it's currently unknown if there are more. Police are urging everyone to avoid the area at this time. This situation is still developing. And I think we have one update to this one. So, the Arlington police have just released a statement confirming an ongoing investigation into a reported shooting at the Parks Mall. The mall has been evacuated and officers are currently securing the building. Initial findings suggest this was an isolated incident stemming from a fight and not considered an active shooter. Well, if you had to point out the judge assault was in Vegas, I don't even know if I said it. I could have missed that, so I apologize if I missed that. So your standard police footage. It seems to be an altercation more than it was anything else. So this is kind of fucky. This happened today. Thank you, Shenny, for updating me with it. It was one thing on the consideration list, and then this one went really dark. We currently live in Vegas, for those who don't know. Yeah, I didn't know you lived in Vegas. I thought you lived in Nevada, but damn. Yeah, be safe out there. So this happened today. There was a lot of coverage, and then as soon as the identity and what this guy did or who he was, everything went silent. So you can tell what kind of gentleman this individual was. Police have identified the Perry High School shooter as 17-year-old Dylan Butler. One person, a 6th grade student at the school, has died and 5 others were injured. Officials discovered an improvised explosive device inside Perry High School where the incident occurred. So this was the shooter in Iowa earlier today. So that's the first video. So we're going to look at a video that the internet has put together from his TikTok. TikTok had scrubbed the account of allegedly belonging to the Perry High School student shooting suspect Dylan Butler. Luckily, I captured a screen recording of the account before it was taken down. The account was named Took Too Much and featured a pride flag in the bio. Surprise. The person on the account appeared to be a loser, mentally ill, and druggy. He was also in a pretend gunfight with one of the friends in his video. So this is allegedly his account as screen recorded. Oh, good. It's gone. Oh, shit. More.
Yo, check it out. It's the cook from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yo, check it out. Beautiful night tonight.
Well, I turned it way down. It's okay.
Yoda?
Take Blinker, you must.
Why?
It's just TikTok shit.
Nazi fags.
Wearing a girl's purse?
It's a Louis Vuitton backpack and it's unisex. Question, does the devil wear...
Why are you wearing...
Oh, he likes ICP? Gross.
I say right foot creep, walking with that heat.
Relax. I just want to take some pictures.
I say right foot.
Which is kind of weird. By kind of weird, I mean really weird. Racist. Okay. So that's your most recent school shooter. Piece of shit. Moving on. 2 subway trains have collided, causing a derailment in Manhattan. This is fairly recent, this afternoon. So numerous emergency personnel and other agencies are currently on the scene after 2 subway trains collided, causing a portion of one train to derail at 96 and Broadway in the Upper West Side of Manhattan, New York. At this time, there's no immediate information on the possible injuries. MTA officials report that the work train rear-ended a commuter train, and firefighters are actively working to assist passengers off the train. Still developing. I think we got an update. All passengers have been evacuated, affected trains, and no injuries have been reported. Only emergency personnel remains inside the station. One train service is now suspended between South Ferry and the 37th Street City College stations due to derailment. Now, I've seen some other reports that there were numerous injuries. So I'll let you guys decide, but I've seen it both ways. There was no injuries reported, and there were hundreds of injuries reported. So I don't think we're probably going to get a great answer on this one for a while. So moving on, there's been some increased seismic activity. Officials now state that a minor 1.7 magnitude earthquake thought to have awakened residents in Roosevelt Island in Queens, causing a series of small explosions that resulted in a power outage. So I know I had that one. Oh, that was Connecticut. There's so many of them. There it is. I knew I had it. So that corresponds to this specific event. Numerous reports of multiple explosions and buildings shaking on Roosevelt Island. I know, I saw the Forbes link too. That's why that was another one that I think they said 300 injuries. So there's a wide discrepancy of injuries. Currently, numerous emergency crews and other agencies are responding to reports of multiple explosions causing buildings to shake in the Roosevelt Island, Manhattan, and Queens areas of New York. Firefighters in the vicinity and have reported feeling vibrations and have requested Con Edison employees to address power outages at several buildings. According to EMS, firefighters are dealing with multiple maintenance hole exploding in the area. So craziness going on there. Also, a magnitude 2.3 earthquake has occurred outside of Washington, D.C., with the epicenter taking place near Rockville, Maryland. Multiple reports in this area have felt the shake. This was on January 2nd, so increased seismic activity on the East Coast. And so here's a better map of the two quakes on the East Coast. So we have the 1.7 in New York, the 2.7 in Washington, or right outside of. So we have increased seismic activity, and then we have seismic activity in Japan. I think Max lives in this area, Max Mura. I reached out to him and made sure he's okay. He did respond and say that him and his family were fine and safe. I reached out to him as soon as I saw it happening. So breaking a powerful magnitude 7.8 earthquake has hit Western Japan. Tsunami warnings have been declared. Currently, tsunami warnings have been issued in parts of Western Japan after a powerful 7.6 magnitude earthquake followed by a 6.2 magnitude aftershock occurred moments ago. And again, this was on, I believe, the 1st. Numerous reports indicate to strong, violent shaking with multiple buildings swaying back and forth. Tsunami sirens have been activated, sounding off on an emergency warning and urging residents to evacuate immediately. So this is Max sent me a video, this video, and I think I shared it with a couple people, but it's the tsunami coming in. So anytime, I mean, they had the Tokyo and the, I think this is the video I'm looking for. Oh yeah. Okay. This is the one I'm looking for. So I think that they had last time the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant was because of an earthquake that got hit by a tsunami. So yeah, for sure. Have you seen the video of divers underwater when the quake struck? No, but that's cool.
めっちゃ揺れてる。やばい。おお。わあ、やばい。え、これサンド大丈夫？やばいやばいやばい。
That's insane. It's so much power. I've never been in like a major earthquake, and I'm good with not doing that. Ever. The New Year's been rather unkind to Japan. The day after the quakes, a Japan airliner has reportedly collided with a Coast Guard aircraft on a runway when landing in Tokyo. Massive emergency response underway after a Japan Airlines plane caught fire landing at Tokyo's Haneda Airport after it reportedly collided with a Coast Guard aircraft on the runway. A Coast Guard that was responding to that specific earthquake and tsunami. There are nearly 400 passengers on board the airliner. They've all been safely evacuated. Cause of the fire is being investigated and still developing. We'll look at that video later because I have a couple of videos of this one. Kind of crazy, but you know we all have phones and that kind of thing. So there's some pretty comprehensive video. As always, viewer discretion. Damn, 84 people died and 179 missing from the earthquake and tsunami. That's crazy. Thanks, buddy. I'll check it out. That's what I heard too. The Coast Guard did not have clearance to move, and did so anyways. I got some videos in there too. So always scary. There's been a lot of ground events recently that have been incredibly concerning. Not telling you not to fly, but just keep your head up when you're flying because there's been a lot of ground events. This is supposedly somebody exiting the aircraft. You can see people coming out on the side. While the aircraft was heavily inflamed. Heavily. This one didn't have as much fanfare or information that I could find. Kind of an odd story. A massive rescue operation is underway. More than 75 to 100 people are stranded on a large broken sheet of ice in Upper Reed Lake, Minnesota. This was on December 29th, so currently, a massive rescue operation is underway on Upper Red Lake in Minnesota, with numerous emergency personnel and other agencies on the scene working to rescue over 75 to 100 people stranded after a large ice trunk broke off the main ice on Upper Red Lake. Emergency responders are evacuating from the southeast part of the ice in Red Lake, and several areas are affected. Officials say there's no report of anyone in the water and the situation is developing. Officials say at least 122 fishermen have been rescued from an ice floe on Upper Red Lake, Minnesota, and no injuries have been reported. For those of you not familiar with northern the way people in the north do it, You do a lot of shit on the ice. You skate, you fish, you they have carnivals, all kinds of stuff. Like the ice is a way of life, and when stuff freezes up, especially in places like this, and ice wasn't quite just ready, broke off and flowed downstream. So. So that's crazy. So last story from shit that blows up and goes boom. This is our weekly something blew up. Ice fishing is fun. Yeah. Multiple large explosions are taking place at fuel company with reports of evacuations underway in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Couldn't go a week without blowing shit up. December 29th is when this happened, just before the new year. Currently, numerous law enforcement and other emergency agencies are now on the scene in Bridgeport, Connecticut, after reports of large explosions at the Standard Oil Fuel Company. So far, at least 2 people have been taken to the hospital following an explosion, which evacuation is underway near the fuel company. Firefighters have issued a third alarm for the fire as a large plume of black smoke is rising from the area, visible from miles away. Of course, police are urging avoidance of the area, and regional hazmat crews have been activated due to the multiple explosions that's currently taking place with some sort of oxidizer burning off of loading. So some kind of oxidizer, some kind of oxygen-based product that would catch fire very easily. So here's a video. Cute.
Oh, I don't want to get in there. Video shot.
I had a teacher in college that did like the fishing up on boats in Alaska, and he said he loved the hell out of it. He said it was dangerous and really cold and kind of shitty, but I loved it, and he made really good money. So that was just a teaser because we didn't have a direct house explosion in that one. But I do not disappoint, and every week we have a legitimate house explosion. This one's very close. Yeah, pay was great. Yeah, and they pay for everything. You get your room, board, food, all that shit. He said it was great. So scary house explosion in Michigan kills 4, hurts 2, shakes residents miles away. An explosion on Saturday resulted in the loss of 4 lives and 2 injuries as a home in Northfield Township, Michigan, was reduced to rubble, according to law enforcement. Lieutenant David Powell, spokesperson for the Northfield Police Department, revealed that 3 individuals were pronounced dead at the scene, while 3 survivors were swiftly transported to medical facilities on Saturday afternoon. One of the survivors succumbed to their injuries later. Details about the victims, such as their ages, relationships, are still under investigation. The home is situated on a dead end and fairly secluded, suffered extensive damage, leaving only the basement intact. When questioned about the cause, Powell said, "We don't know, maybe some type of gas explosion." He indicated that the homes in the vicinity may not be connected to utility gas lines and instead rely on propane tanks for fuel. As a precautionary measure, electricity in the area was disconnected. Click on for claims me every fucking time I use one of their videos, so I'm not gonna play it. But apparently, yeah, it annihilated yet another house. So I think that's 8 weeks in a row that we've had a house explosion. On to your recall corner. Ford recalls more than 112,000 F-150s for rollaway risk. Ford has initiated a recall affecting 113,000 F-150 pickup trucks due to potential issues with the rear axle hub. The concern is the hub might break off, posing a risk of the vehicle losing power or rolling away when it's parked. The recall specifically pertains to certain 21 through 23 F-150 vehicles that are equipped with a trailer tow max duty package and a 9.7-inch heavy-duty axle with a 3/4 float axle design as outlined in a notice from the NTSB. Right. Yeah. Traffic Highway Safety Administration, NTSB, same thing. On Tuesday, the recall identifies a problem with the rear axle hub bolt, which may fatigue and break, leading to damage to the axle hub splines. You have to take yours in. The damaged axle hub splines could result in the vehicle rolling away when parked or experiencing a loss of drive power, thereby elevating the risk of potential collision, according to NHTSA. Ford is addressing the issue with specific resolution is still in progress. The NHTSA recommends that owners of the recalled F-150 pickups who notice problems related to the rear axle bolt, such as clicking or rattling, should promptly take their vehicles to an authorized dealer for a temporary repair. For inquiries, owners can contact Ford customer service at 866-436-7332. And the recall identification number for Ford is 23S65. Also, in our recall corner, over 650,000 plus infant formula cans recalled over potential bacteria contamination. And like every other one, there's a ton of them. So if you use this specific brand of baby food, maybe you can, if you're, I don't know who's parents here, but if you're a parent or rely on baby food or formula, maybe screenshot. This is the recall for the foods. Just because I like them, and it is news. We did celebrate New Year's. Happy New Year's to everybody. I got a couple, I think there's 3 videos of fireworks around the world. So pretty. San Antonio, Texas. This is still America. Yeah. A lot of damn fireworks. Australia. Sydney for our down under friend. Oh, really? Damn. Oh, that sucks. So this is Aussie land. It's fake, you know that, right? The fireworks and the city and the country, the continent, and the Aussie. Certain places, they have been for quite some time. We used to in Michigan. It used to be illegal to purchase. Hang on, let me finish this, and then I'll. So anyways, they're heavily regulated, heavily taxed. In Michigan, they used to be illegal, but you could drive to Ohio, which is the next state over, which is where Australia actually is. And all you had to do is sign a paper that said you wouldn't light off the fireworks that you just paid $1,000 for, and they would sell them to you. So it's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, so we used to go to Ohio or Indiana. There's some states where it's still illegal to have fireworks, which seems very un-American. In Washington State, we bought them off the Indian reservations. Yeah, we also have an Indian reservation up by my cabin up north in the UP. So we can purchase them from there as well. But we always made it a fun trip. Just go down to Ohio or Indiana and grab fireworks and get ready for it, you know. So it was always fun. So the last one, this is from Times Square, the Eastern time zone, the only time zone that matters. I want you all to watch my balls drop. Dazzer didn't know what this was, so I had to, like, New York and stuff like that. So no, I showed that on New Year's Day. They were both men, right? I saw it, and then I was like, well, fuck, those are not both guys. And then I looked at his hands, and I'm like, holy shit. That's a man. That's a man. I think they were both men. I think they both had penises. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, more power to you. YouTube, don't ban me for life. I just got back. So this video from Ayo. So this is the 7.1 earthquake offshore and Benita Sea underwater. So holy shit. That's kind of neat, but really scary. Really scary. Where's my stinger? Ow. God damn it. Did I get rid of it? I had a breaking news stinger. See, I'm learning. I went back and checked one more time on my sources because every time I get off here, something happens and I miss it. Oh, here it is. Breaking. And that's appropriate, Digger, because it is breaking right now. Did you disable super chats? Can only give memberships. No, YouTube did that to me, and I'm still waiting on a response from them, Comer. So I do apologize. We'll see if YouTube ever actually responds to anything. But apparently when they deleted my channel, they disabled super chats. So I have not. I will re-look into it, send them another message. But anyways, breaking, a B-1 bomber, so a B-1 Lancer, or B-1B Lancer, has crashed outside of Ellsworth Air Force Base in Box Elder, South Dakota. Interesting thing, B-1s can carry... Thanks, Comer. I appreciate it, buddy. Gifted 1 membership. This is a nuclear capable base. So, and the B-1B Lancer is a nuclear capable long-range bomber. Put the two together. Who knows? Who knows what the hell could have happened here? Or why a B-1 was flying. They're not. It's not common that they fly. So interesting. Large emergency response underway after a B-1 bomber crashed outside Ellsworth Air Force Base in Box Elder, South Dakota. Ellsworth Air Force Base Public Affairs has confirmed an incident on the base tonight. Fire trucks were dispatched to the scene where multiple witnesses reporting hearing numerous explosions. Reports indicate that 4 crew members successfully ejected and are safe. The incident has been contained to the base and investigators are currently on the scene. I'm going to check the Ellsworth Air Force Base Public Affairs Twitter real quick. See if we can get any more information from that, but I just wonder what was on it. Fire Department, EOD. There's an incident on base. B-1B Lancer. Pilot ejected. I mean, this is just breaking. So the last update was 45 seconds ago, and a little before 6 p.m. And that would be Mountain Time, so 2 hours ago. So that would have been about 2 hours ago. Crashed while attempting to land a B-1B Lancer. See if they have a picture of it, because they're pretty plain. Not I have a picture. There's a picture. Be part of the Super Bowl flyover. They're rethinking that shit. So this is a B-1B Lancer, so it's they're a beautiful plane. They're huge. Big fan of the B-1Bs. So that was just breaking, just went live on here 8 minutes ago. And obviously just happened about 2 hours ago. Beautiful plane. Probably not good that it crashed, just being honest. Very likely. Very likely. Stunning and brave crew, of course. Lesbians. All right. So I try to find something that's good to end off on, just because I know the news is shit and not everybody likes constant shit. So, boy 13 becomes first human to beat the Tetris game. Look at that, all fucking 9s. 9. Hang on, I got a clip for this too.
9.
I think that's enough 9s. That's pretty impressive. Honest. So we'll watch the video real quick. Holy shit, it's 42 minutes long. Wait. Damn, this kid's not fucking around, man.
I missed it.
You missed what, dude? I haven't seen you miss shit. You're killing it right now.
Oh my god.
Is this the
World video game prodigy has done something that no other gamer has done. Willis Gibson from Oklahoma became the first known person to beat the iconic 1988 video game Tetris. I know David's tried, but
I
he
have.
did not do this. Gibson reached level 157 on the game and got to the kill screen, which causes the game to crash. Gibson
shit.
says that he started playing 2 years ago, practicing 3 to 5 hours a day.
Look at the reaction from him on the corner, though. That's the best. We'll be right.
That's cool. Good job, kid. Good job, dude. "30 minutes in gameplay, realize it." Oh, so it's at the end of this video? Like, where does it crash? Do we see it crash? Oh, there's crashed. That's where it's crashed. I used to play it. I was no good at it, but
I can't feel my fingers. I can't feel my hands. Oh my god. Oh my god.
that's so cool. That's so cool.
I
Huh.
can't feel my hands.
So good on that kid. I didn't know you could beat Tetris. I just thought it was forever. 2, I didn't know that no one had ever beat Tetris. So good on you, kid. Good job. Keep up your dreams and kick some more 1988 video game ass. I mean, I was born in 1988, so. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for me tonight. Thank you for catching up with the news with me, seeing what blew up, what was going on. Or boy, we don't judge. Here's the reality. The Epstein docs came out. I have about 50 pages left to go through. After I go through those 50 pages, I may just put together a video and release it in the morning, or I will live stream in the morning. I have not decided. It's me. You guys know this. You'll hear when I do. But as soon as I get the second drop of the Epstein files, which was 24 documents this evening, then I will update you guys. There were more names associated with this one, and there was more to tie in associated with this one. So as soon as I can get through those and get to the end of them, I will happily share with you all. Until then, I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, a wonderful night. Stay safe out there, and I will talk to you all later. Good night, everybody.